on Emerging Tech Brew. It kind of struck me because it hit on something I was talking about 6, 7, 8 years ago when I was doing talks on transformative technology and some of the things that people should think about doing instead of just hiring one more person in your organization that's in kind of standard positions, whether it's kind of someone out on the shop floor running a CNC machine, whether it's another application engineer, another salesperson, which I get are all really, really important. I've been them. But to think about, could you get somebody totally different to get in the mix? And I come up with this, just, hey, some different positions that seem wacky and off the wall, but if you can put some of these kind of folks in your organization, it might totally change the way you think about how to evolve your company. And especially important in a data-centric age. Well, what tied into this particular article was, this was my sheet that I had back in the day when I did that. Tough to see, but you can see this one here. It was, hey, do you ever think about having a game app designer? I can remember people going, why in the world would I, in the manufacturing world, put a game app designer in? And at the time I was trying to explain to folks, hey, look, what these guys are doing is pushing the bleeding edge of technology. What they're doing kind of is going to be pushing what happens in the virtual world, augmented reality world, just to actually do the processing. These guys have entirely new chipsets that are being developed to be able to work for them, entirely new ways to have software working integrated together with systems. And so it's like, hey, they really could be somebody on your own payroll doing things that change how you do things with your business. Well, what was really interesting coming out in Emerging Tech Brew is a topic that's really, metaverse. So the concept of a metaverse, so a universe, but a metaverse, which is a concept of a persistent shared 3D digital space that's in a that's in a virtual universe. So a metaverse. And there's a company making a lot of headlines right now in that space, and it's Roblox, ROBLOX. And they're doing about $569 million approximately, which isn't so shabby, and just about to go public. And it makes it really pretty interesting to look at their dynamic because they're definitely evolving and changing the industry. So the roots are in gaming, but really for these guys, it's all been about their platform and the extrapolations of what you could do with their platform. They recently, did a concert tour using their platform and essentially had, tens of millions of people that join and use the platform. So on a daily basis, these guys have 36 million active users. Active users a day. 36 million active users a day. They got 7 million active designers and developers that are working on their platform, evolving other products. And so again, imagine what you could start to do evolving your product platform when you had 7 million. So it's a system that's open. Folks can develop their own things in that space. And they're now starting to take a look at, hey, this whole work from home thing is probably not going away anytime soon. So how do we get past kind of almost this two-dimensional Zoom, Slack world that we live in and get to something that's more like the world that you were in when you were really going into the office? So you start to take a look at these game platforms or a metaverse and think about creating a space where you could have a three-dimensional perspective and interface and experience with the folks you're normally working with and kind of change that envelope. So if you look at technology now currently and easily available that are pervasive, so whether it be mobile computing, the cloud, high-speed internet, things that are now coming with new technologies, 5G, high fidelity, mixed virtual reality systems, just a lot of the emerging technologies, you've got these tools to really create this immersive environment that can kind of change how people are working. You can start to think about, again, in a factory setting, things we're doing in that whole digital twin, digital thread, and then moving it into the whole factory experience, office experience, and just even the technology that it takes to drive those things forward. There's people in this space, there's products in this space, there's cool companies in this space, and it's just one of those things to take a look at. Again, don't want to be on the bleeding edge, but watching how these things happen evolves into our space, and at the end of the day, this is like 7, 8-year-old news, and a lot of these positions are positions that people are talking about today, having on their staff and changing their business. So just thought I'd pass that on. Good one to take a look at, Roblox, see what they're doing, see how their IPO goes, and hey, if this can somehow help you evolve your business, super. With that, I hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving. I'm going to catch up to you again next week. Have a great one.